Courtney was on the 17th green now, only one more hole till the end. The round hadn't been that bad, given the circumstances. It gave her a little hope to hear that the other team hadn't done that well either. Maybe they would come out on top after all. She winced as she felt the need to pee again. Melanie must have put something in her water she really didn't have any control anymore of when she went to the bathroom. The urge would come on suddenly, and would be completely uncontrollable. It was almost like she was a great big no. She hit her last tee shot into the bunker on the right side. Sand had been her enemy today, she couldn't keep her balance in it because of the diapers. She always fell over, and everyone would laugh at her ungainly appearance, knowing what she was quite obviously wearing. Courtney took a deep breath, and waddled down the fairway to the trap. Grace woke up, and didn't remember where she was. She couldn't move, she was wrapped in something incredibly soft, which just absorbed all of her movement. The more she tried to squirm, in fact, the more restricting whatever it was got. She looked around, seeing nothing but pink. It was obviously a large room, but all its features were virtually indistinguishable due to its uniform color. She looked down at herself, seeing her entire length covered by what looked like a sleeping bag. There was an extremely large bulge starting at the top of her waist, ending down by her knees. She must still be in diapers, she thought. She tried to sit up, the sleeping bag drawing tighter against her. She managed to roll over, seeing other girls zipped up in bags of their own. They were all just as thickly diapered, some thicker, even. Grace suddenly felt the need to use the bathroom. She had no control over it whatsoever. Even before she knew she had to, she was using her diapers. What was worse, she had no choice about it. What was going on? The ball rolled into the hole with a satisfying sound. The crowd applauded, and Courtney waved half-heartedly. She waddled off the green, and attempted to sit comfortably in the golf cart awaiting her. Melanie was driving. Her clubs had already been loaded into the back. "Come on," Melanie said. "We're going to be late." "Late for what?" "I'm not going with you, you diaper-wearing freak." Courtney turned around, and began to waddle the other way as fast as she could. "Ha! That's what she thinks," Melanie said. She unclipped the walkie-talkie from her belt, and spoke into it briefly. She waited for an acknowledgement, and then turned the golf cart around to follow Courtney. She caught up in no time. "You know," said Melanie, "you're only going to tire yourself out. You may as well just ride in the golf cart, and spare us the trouble of having to catch you." "Us? Who the hell is us?" "There's more than one of you freaks." Courtney stopped waddling, and stood still. "Why are you doing this to me?" Courtney didn't hear the people approaching from behind her. "Why did you do it to me?" Melanie asked rhetorically. She watched dispassionately as the two nursery attendants seized Courtney by both arms, forcing her into a wheelchair. Courtney's attempted scream was muffled by a pacifier that was quickly shoved in her mouth. One attendant secured Courtney in the chair, as the other started a feeding line into the pacifier. "We'll have you back home in no time," said Melanie. "Have fun until then, little baby." Most of the girls were awake by now. Grace could see every one of them was squirming in the restrictive sleeping bags, struggling to find a way out. This was downright humiliating. Why did they deserve this? Grace tried turning around as she heard a muted thud. She could almost see. Just one more inch. Her eyes widened and she made a muffled cry as she fell, and hit the padded floor with a similar sound. The impact caused her bowels to empty themselves again, loosened by the shock of the landing. She squirmed even more against the bag now that she was on the ground. She hadn't even realized she was in the air. The door opened, and the two attendants came in with Courtney, followed by Melanie. Melanie frowned at the two girls who were on the floor. She thought for a minute, said something to one of her helpers, and he moved towards the girls still in the hammock. He dumped them all on the floor, and pulled everyone to the center of the room in a circle. Each girl was released from the sleeping bags, only to find themselves in thickly padded rompers. Each of them had been asleep when they were entombed, so none of them knew exactly what they were wearing.